What's up, folks? Welcome back to Out of Your Falcon Mind, Atlanta Falcons Fancast. I'm John, as always, and I will be today covering two more guys for our draft profiles. I've got defensive lineman Siaki Ika and DJ Dale. So Ika being from Baylor, Dale being from Alabama, and the Super Bowl is like in 3 hours, so I need to get this over with so I can plan to get these wings going and just eat and enjoy football. So let's go. So, welcome in, folks. It is Super Bowl Sunday, and here I am breaking down two more prospects for you guys because, that's how much I care. But anyway, getting into it. Siaki Ika, Baylor, junior, 6'4", 358 pounds. He started off his career at LSU, played a few years. LSU changed their scheme, decided Baylor would be a better fit. Definitely was the right decision. He goes to Baylor. I think he was a 21 Baylor, Big 12 defensive newcomer and whatever of the year award. Last year, he had 23 tackles, did not have any sacks. He had 4 and 21. So with Ika, and a lot of folks love him, especially Falcons fans I've seen would like to have him. And we were watching our buddies, the Bolt Bros, yesterday, and the Chargers fans, a lot of Chargers fans would like him on their team as well. So I'll get to what I think about him as far as a fit for us at the end here. But just looking at him as a whole, so this is Mr. Ika. He is a giant human. He, like I said, he is 6'4", 358 pounds. Just massive dude who's going to eat up space and definitely make it difficult for anything coming inside. He's actually as a pass rusher, not too bad. He's got a solid chop and swim move, which you don't see from guys his size typically, especially in college. They're normally just trying to, power, bull rush, stuff like that. The explosion out of his stance is pretty crazy to be a guy his size. It kept showing up on film. I had to remind myself that, hey, damn, this dude is, 358 pounds. In comparison, by the way, Jordan Davis, everybody knows from Georgia last year, 6'6", 336 pounds. So very, very similar guys. Obviously, Siaki not as tall, and also his arms not as long. So that's one of the negatives on Ika is that he sometimes will let the offensive lineman get to him first, just due to his arm length. And there's nothing he can do about that. That's the arms that he has. So, but he's there's other things he can work on to get that to improve that basically. The one thing that's not so great is he can play pretty high pad level wise, so he can lose leverage. I did watch a couple of actually 2 or 3 games, and it kept showing up on film where he playing high, and just getting basically controlled by the guard or the center. Now there's other times he didn't, and he was blowing up double teams. His like I said, his speed off the ball. A lot of times he was the first D lineman off the ball, which is pretty impressive. He can swim inside guards. Watched that a few times actually. But prototypically, especially going into as the next level at the NFL, you're looking at a over the center, one technique type of guy, which in today's game, not as predominant as it used to be. So he's definitely going to be a scheme fit type of dude. He's not somebody that is going to work super well on even fronts. In a 4-3, something like that. He was not on the field a ton during passing plays. He was mostly first, second down running type of deal. Now he can get after the pass rusher, especially just using his quickness and his moves that he has. I'm sorry, getting after the quarterback, not the pass rusher. But he definitely can get hung up sometimes and has a hard time sometimes shedding those blocks. Gets kind of stuck on the double teams. And if you're running, I watch a lot of teams. If they're running outside zone, you're going outside. He's not super effective against that. Now, if you're coming inside, that's just stupid because he's taking up a ton of space, typically taking up 2 blockers, which is allowing his ends and his linebackers to come in and do their job and stop the ball carrier. So, it's looking into next year. If I were him, I would try to drop some weight and make him a little bit more versatile. To me, for our Falcons, he looks more like a he'd be like a luxury player in my eyes. So, I mean, he's projected to go as an early day 2, late first round type of guy, and that could all change between now and then. But that's what his projections are. I wouldn't hate it if we got him, but to me, it's like if our line was really stout already, and we just needed like one or two guys to come in and just solidify a couple of spots, then he'd be perfect. Again, next to Grady in the first, second down, I don't hate it, at all. But you also have to look at how many snaps is he going to be on the field. So, like I said before, he wasn't on the field a whole lot during the passing down. So if he's coming off um, the field a lot, I mean, are you going to spend a late first round pick on that on a rotational guy, or somebody that's not going to play a lot? So it really depends on the scheme that Nielsen wants to run and how that's going to fit what we do. So super talented player, though. I mean, I don't want to, take that away from him. He's going to be, I think, a successful guy at the next level, no matter what. I just don't know that it's a perfect fit for where we're at as a defense right now. Um, Looking at his speed overall, again, he's 358 pounds. He can run guys down. He's no Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis has impressive speed for his size. He's definitely not there yet. Like I said, maybe if he cuts weight, that could improve for sure. But his most effective at just freeing up linebackers, eating up space, using his speed to get inside, affect the pass, blow up running game if he can in the backfield. Again, if I'm an offensive coordinator, I'm not running toward him. I'm running away. I'm running outside. I'm not going toward his direction because it's just not a good idea. But he is double teamed a hell of a lot during his games. That should be obvious at his size. Looking at my notes from the games, I looked at still very mobile, but still slow compared. I've wrote that down and compared to other linemen. I mean, if you're looking at the entire game and you can see him move compared to some of the other guys, yeah, he's going to look slower. He's a freaking giant. But let's see, looking at West Virginia, the game I watched against them, that lack of functional strength and the playing high was definitely showing up there. He was getting handled quite a bit by guards and centers just one-on-one. So now he did have success, of course, too. Like I said before in the previous video, you're not going to win every rep, but you look for those things that's going to make him more successful than not the next level. And really, it's just that getting more functional strength, playing at a lower pad level, getting leverage on guys. That's going to help him out more than anything. That's what's going to help offset having those shorter arms for his size. Explosion off the ball, like I said, my God, I mean, impressive as hell for a dude his size. Against Oklahoma State, watched last year's and this year's game. I think he had 2 sacks last year against Oklahoma State. Blew up backfield quite a bit there. Again, the whole lack of functional strength was showing up. The playing high was showing up. So that's something that's, like I said, it can be worked on. It can be corrected, especially at the next level. You get a guy that, defensive line coach that can work with him. I think he's definitely going to be, like again, a success no matter where he ends up. Now, like I said, I don't know that somebody we're going to be, because we're not taking him at 8. I don't think anybody's taking him at 8, to be honest. But if we do, if we take him, it's going to be, second round, something like that. So next guy, DJ Dale, and let me bring him up. He is he's a senior. He was a 4-year starter for the most part at Alabama. So of course I've watched all of his games, me being an Alabama fan. There's Mr. Dale. So he's also a big dude, not near as big as Ika. He's 6'3", 300 pounds. He had 17 tackles, 2.5 sacks. Now he's definitely, as far as what he projects, now we're looking at maybe a 5th round type of pick here. Okay, so this is not, they're totally two different dudes here. What's cool about DJ, he was a high school wrestler, and that shows up in how he plays football. The man has amazing core strength. He's rarely taken to the ground. If Ika could play with Dale's leverage, then damn, Ika would be a high first round pick in my opinion. DJ can command double teams as well. But again, that really, really solid strength. He does not get blown off the ball very often. So he's a guy that he played multiple fronts in Alabama, but he's not really set for like a 3-4 and an odd front. He's definitely better in a 4-3 nickel, that type of thing. And I do think he could play 3 downs. He can be a 3-down type of guy, but he's not great at rushing the passer. He's got good footwork. He's got decent hands. They could be improved. But as far as him getting to the quarterback, doesn't happen very often. Now, his main job, Now he played next to Will Anderson quite a bit this year, um, and of course the linebackers Toa and some of those guys I mean they run them through at Alabama, right? So his main job, and he's done really good at that, is freeing up guys like Will Anderson. So, I mean, if you've got a guy like DJ who has to command, double team, or he can just really hold up against the run or against the pass and not get blown off the ball, it's going to allow Will or your linebackers to get in there and make those plays that they're good at making and getting in the backfield, and that's what DJ does really well. He's obviously a little bit quicker than Ika, being not as big. He can move laterally down the line really well for his size. Um, he's, like I said, as a rotational guy for us, late round, I would be just fine with it. I think that's somebody you could plug in throughout the game, keep him fresh. First, second down, maybe, like I said, maybe even third, depending on the situation. But yeah, he's definitely not made for a 3-4. That's for sure. He, like I said, needs to improve his pass rush for sure. If he had better pass rush ability, he would go higher, I think, in the draft. That's just not something he's been super good at throughout his career, but great against the run. Like I said, hold his leverage great, quick first step. I guess, yeah, I'm just looking through my notes here. Not super long guy, just like Ika is comparatively speaking to his teammate or other guys at his position, but he makes up for it. Like I said, with the levers that he was able to play with, and he keeps those pads low. He doesn't play high very often. So watching the film, I watched a couple of games against SEC opponents, Texas A&M and Arkansas. I watched one against Utah State. And as you would expect against Utah State, he dominated pretty much the guard in the center. Those guys, they were having to double team him and try to control him that way. And most of the time, I mean, it would work. But again, if you're commanding two guys, that's just numbers, right? That means somebody's not, you're somebody else is going to be free. So that's what happened a lot. He can get up and down the lines and make tackles in the run game. Really made for shooting those gaps though, and getting off the ball quick. And against Texas A&M and Arkansas, again, he was seeing double teams. His effort shows through every game. The guy's high motor guy, doesn't stop. He can run some twists and stunts pretty effectively. Watch that happen a few times in the Texas A&M game, and he just wreaks havoc, man, on the offensive line. So as far as for us looking at both these guys, yeah, I'm not going to be mad if we get either one. But again, I'm not going to pound the table to take Ika. It's definitely not a date. Like I said, maybe second round if we're there and he's there. But I think he'll go to a team that can definitely utilize what his strengths are, and like I said, I don't know that, what we need right now. We need depth for sure in the defensive line more than anything. So, looking at that first round pick, the last couple of days, I've seen Tyree Wilson, the guy that we covered last week on the show, being mocked to us quite a bit. Miles Murphy as well. So either one of those guys, I mean, if you address the edge there, and then you're looking at the second round or third round, then I don't know that we're going to double up on it. I won't be mad at it because, like I said on the previous show, I'm all for depth on that defensive line because that's going to help us out more than anything, next season and going forward. You look at the Eagles, look what they've done. I mean, it's just a recipe for success there. If you got a defensive line that's dominating and coming in and out of the game fresh, all throughout, and extending the life of, a Grady Jarrett or whoever may be, on the line with us. So, but that's it, guys. Just wanted to hit those two guys quickly. Mike will be back tomorrow. I think we're going to start some corners now. There's a few other tackles we may get into, but we're going to just hit, like I said, there wasn't there's not a ton of like super like high guys. There's another Byron Young. There's another guy from Alabama that could be a late round type of pick for us as well. May come back to him later on. But we're gonna start with corners. I think Mike's got Clark Phillips the third and Cam Smith, I believe. So he'll hit those guys either tomorrow or Tuesday, and then I'll probably come back with I think we'll hit Christian Gonzalez and either Joey Porter Jr. Or Devin Witherspoon from Illinois. So those are definitely. I'll just go ahead and say now, any of those guys, I'll be just fine with on our squad, but we'll get into that on the other shows. But I hope you guys, like I said, hope you guys enjoying these little draft shows that we're doing. It's cool for us to keep bringing to content every day, and of course on the Variety Sports Network as always. So make sure we're also on VSN Football. So if you go subscribe to VSN Football, you'll get us there as well. But if you're not already subscribed to Out of Your Falcon Mind, please drop us a subscription. Hit the like button on the video so we can get our content out to more Falcons. Fans as much as possible. That's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to grow and get better. If you guys want any merch, we've got some cool Out of Your Falcon Mind shirts and hoodies you can buy on Bonfire. I'll put the link in the description in the video here. But again, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys are ready to eat a lot of mostly bad food probably for the Super Bowl. And who y'all got, man? Who y'all got today? I'm rooting, and I can't believe to say it, but I'm rooting for the Eagles. Maybe the first time in my life, actually. All because Jalen Hurts, Devonta Smith, from Alabama. It's hard to not root for my guys there, and hard to not root for Jalen anyway. He's a good dude. I don't know that they can get it done. Holmes is a bad cat, but we'll see. I'm rooting for the Eagles today. You can let me know who y'all are rooting for. I'm not going to be heartbroken either way. I just want to see, like I said, my Bama guys do well. But thank you guys for watching these videos. Hope you're enjoying it. And we'll be back tomorrow, and then our live show again will be Wednesday. I'm not sure if it's going to be 7 or 8 yet, but I'll definitely update that probably tomorrow. Me and Mike will figure it out. So appreciate you guys as always. And if you're listening, actually, you know what? I'm not posting these on iTunes and Spotify because it's just too much and it doesn't really translate that well. So if you're typically listening, then hopefully you come over to YouTube and watch it here. So anyway, we appreciate you guys, and we will catch you on Wednesday, and Mike will see you tomorrow. Later.